won millions in the lottery and decided not to tell anyone. I asked my family for help as a test. Only one person lent me a hand. Part 2. I want to do it right. Meanwhile, Ryan was getting more and more entangled. He sent me a message for the first time in almost a year. It was direct. Do you know anyone who can help me? The company is in a bad mess and I need an investor or I'll have to sell. I replied, let's talk. We met at a coffee shop near downtown. Ryan arrived with the same old pose. Expensive suit, shiny watch, forced smile, but this time something was different. He looked smaller, tired. He talked for half an hour about the market crisis. He blamed the government. He said he had done everything right and just needed a little push to get back on track. When he finished, he looked at me and blurted out, you still have contacts in the financial area. I seem to remember you talking about some acquaintances. Do you think you could recommend someone who wants to buy the company or invest in a part of it? I looked at him for a few seconds. I didn't tell him anything about what I already knew. I just said maybe I could buy it myself. He laughed in my face and said, you buy it, bro. I don't know if you'd have the money for that. You never had money. But if you know someone who wants to invest, I only came to you because you said you knew some investors at the company where you used to work. Then I opened my bank account on my phone and showed it to him. The smile vanished from his face instantly. I told him everything and he asked to borrow money. I said no, but that I was interested in buying the company. Since he needed to sell quickly or he would lose everything, he agreed to try to sell it to me. He named an absurd price. I replied that it wouldn't be like that an evaluation would be done and I would only pay the real value of the company at that moment. He seemed surprised but quickly switched to salesman mode. He showed me spreadsheets, talked about potential, tried to inflate what was clearly sinking. I asked him to send me all the information by email and told him I would respond in a few days. I took the material to my lawyers and the analysis team. The diagnosis was clear. The company wouldn't last more than 2 months, but it had structure, a name in the market, and could be recovered with serious changes. We closed the purchase for a symbolic value. I could have let the company go bankrupt and bought the remains for almost nothing, but I made sure to make it clear in the contract that the company would be 100% mine. And Ryan, if he wanted to stay, would have to submit to the new management and accept the position I assigned him. He accepted, not because he wanted to, but because he had no other choice. The following week, I called a meeting with all the remaining employees. We had a general assembly. I introduced Emily as the new administrative manager. I said she would report directly to me and announced a restructuring plan with the elimination of redundant positions, including Ryan's old role, which was basically an empty title with a huge salary. He was demoted to a commercial analyst with targets and supervision. He remained silent during the meeting. He didn't even look at me, but the message was clear. Since then, he arrives at work every day at 8 a.m., clocks in, attends meetings. He doesn't talk much, avoids any conversation that isn't strictly professional. The spark in his eyes has disappeared. The arrogance too. Some colleagues have commented that he has changed. I don't respond. I don't explain. I just observe. My parents called me a few days later indignant. They said I was humiliating my own brother, that he needed support, not punishment. I asked them if either of them remembered the last time they asked me how I was. Silence. Then my mother murmured something like, he has always been very sensitive.